What is keeping you up at night?
Oh gosh, I'm going to try to frame this without sounding alarmist, but I would also say that since we're not getting really any press briefings, we're not getting the usual outputs that we would expect from health leaders within our government, I'm just going to tell it like it is. What really worried me was when a few weeks ago, there's a big cat reservoir. There was word that bird flu had spread from sort of bird farms to cattle farms to then ultimately this big cat reserve, and that 20 big cats had died from bird flu.
No.
And it was sort of like, you catch your breath moment where, up until 12 months ago, bird flu was not detected in cattle. That was a seminal moment. And I think now we've just gotten so used to talking about bird flu in our dairy supply, hence all the risks on drinking raw milk and between that and RFK. But then when it got to the fact that big cats were dying of this, after we already had now cattle, we've had to do all sorts of things when it comes to culling cattle. Hundreds of millions of birds across the world have been culled. I mean, this is a massacre when you really think about mammalian
Yep.
species. And now, just out of the blue, 20 big cats have died. It feels apocalyptic in the worst way, in the sense that what are the respiratory viruses that change almost instantaneously? There's two of them. There's two families of them. One is coronaviruses. We've had a lot of experiences with that now with COVID. The other, unfortunately, is flu. And I would argue that flu is an equal opportunity danger to public health across the world, in the sense that a bad flu strain can impact a teenager, it can impact a young person, and can impact somebody with pre-existing conditions. And to give you a sense, in my ICU, I have two women in their fifth decade of life. They were not protected against flu, unfortunately, and they came down with a severe illness of flu A. They had secondary infection with MRSA, and they
wow.
are not just on a ventilator and on dialysis. They're actually where we use a machine to take the blood out of their body, oxygenate it, and then deliver it back to a big
Oh
IV.
my.
What worries me is flu. Flu really worries me in the sense that it changes quickly. It can be incredibly dangerous to humans. And the fact that bird flu is changing this quickly, this fast, and it's impacting basically every other mammal aside from humans should worry us all.